Hello, I'm Imran Ahmed, and I was born in Karachi, Pakistan. It's a big city. I grew up in the 80s, and unfortunately, in the 80s, there wasn't much music, and people are not really aware of the music, especially rock music. So I was introduced by rock music by one of my friend's cousin from back in my school days. When I was school going kid, one of my friend's cousin, he gave me a tape. It was a compilation tape and it had some really good rock music. And I went home, I started listening to all the songs in that, and I was really fascinated by the rock guitars, the loud guitars. And I got hooked up to rock music and I started listening to it. Then a friend of mine who was my neighbor, he introduced me to the real heavy music. He bought a tape of a band called Metallica, and I think it was 1988 or 89, somewhere like this. And Metallica released their album and Justice for All. He gave me the tape and I took it home and I listened to it, and I was totally blown away by that album. And the best part was there was some leftover tape in that album, and there was another band called Megadeth, and I listened to the song Set the World Afire. That song blew me away, it changed my life forever. And since then I thought that I'm going to do heavy rock music. I had no idea where to buy a guitar from and what the guitar is and what this rock music and the loud guitars and distortion sounds like. So a friend of mine, he had a cheap acoustic guitar. I borrowed it from him and I started playing that. It had only 5 strings and I had no idea how to play the guitar, what are the guitar chords and the scales and the notations and everything. So it was like you just take the guitar and you start playing it, regardless of, like, you have no idea what you're doing. So I used to go at his place and would take the guitar and started to like bang away the chords, and it wasn't even chord, it was just a sheer turbulence from the guitar I was making. But once I got a hold of that guitar, I knew that I'm going to do something out of that. And I begged my friend to give me that guitar so I can take home and learn. Initially he said no, but eventually he agreed and I took that guitar at home. And I knew I was never going to give, or I was never going to return his guitar. So I took the guitar at home and I started practicing. I was just like trying to play one string at a time without even knowing what I was doing. I didn't even had a clue back then that the guitar can be tuned, you know. There's a tuning in the guitar. So it was really like I was, you can say, shooting in the dark. But the instrument itself was so mesmerizing that I was really happy to even had it in my home, at my home, or had it in my hand and just playing it, you know. And one day I went to a shop and it was a bookstore, and there I saw a guitar magazine, the guys with the long hair and all this, and I picked up that magazine. It was a Guitar World magazine, and I knew that this is the right thing, and I was like lucky enough to find that magazine. It was a very expensive magazine back then. Then I had to chip in money with one of my friends who was also into music, and we bought that magazine, we brought it home, and that's how I taught myself to learn. That's how I educate myself to learn how to play. It was really amazing, you know. So fast forward 5 years, I like did odd jobs, and I saved a lot of money, and I bought this cheap electric guitar. I don't know, it was a copy of some Les Paul or whatever. So at least I had an electric guitar, and with that electric guitar there was a small amp. I don't know, it was a Fender amp or what, I don't even remember. So I just kind of like plugged in, and that was my, the first real gig, I must say, at home. Like I locked myself at home and I would start learning. That was my real serious move to learn the guitar. Then I would practice like 8 hours, 9 hours every day, and it wasn't easy, locking yourself in isolation. You lock yourself up and you are like totally off from the world, what is going on, and you just keep on playing and playing and playing, because I knew I wanted to do something with the guitar, and that was my escape. That was something which I really wanted to do. Thank goodness I practiced and practiced, and it paid off finally, and I became pretty fluent in playing, and within like 4 or 5 years I was ready to rock the world. It was a sheer hard work, but it was worth it. I formed my first band, Odyssey, and we had like a couple of guys, and we started playing gigs in our hometown, and it was a very good experience, considering the fact that you're in a band and you would do cover songs. But as I said, that unfortunately people would not appreciate hard rock, heavy metal music from American rock music or British rock music, because in my country, Pakistan, people would really prefer listening to Eastern classical music or Eastern music, mostly in their own language, because we don't speak English. We are not an English speaking country. But I really it was a very good experience for me, I must say. Fast forward to 2004, I formed a band, an Eastern classical band by the name of Garage, meaning thunder. And we agreed to play a fusion of Eastern classical and rock. So I was really happy to experiment, because I'm always about experimenting. We were pretty successful in the local scene. Then we got the chance to perform at the prestigious Royal Albert Hall in London in 2005 before 5,000 people. It was a charity show for the earthquake victims. Then I quit that band and I formed another band by the name of Project X, which is something I really wanted to do, This is what I was, and this is what I thought I'm gonna be. So I formed Project X with my friend Melvin, and we did a couple of songs, but unfortunately my singer Melvin, he passed away in 2016. And the same year I was nominated for one of the American Music Awards, and I was nominated for the two very important categories, Song of the Year and the Artist of the Year. And I didn't win in 2016. I came to Nashville, Tennessee, and unfortunately I did not win. Again in 2017 I was nominated for the same music awards, and I won that award, World Musician of the Year. In 2019 there was another award, International Singer-Songwriter Association Awards. So I was nominated for that award as well. They were really a prestigious award show. So I was really honored to be nominated as the Male Rising Star. I was invited to attend the show, and also I was invited to perform in that the International Singer-Songwriter Association's awards. I performed with one of my very good friends, Broniger McDaniel, and we performed on the main stage. And the best part was I won that award, and it was a life-turning moment for me. And since then I became an international musician, or I was recognized internationally, worldwide. Then I collaborated with so many amazing artists from Germany, like my friend Chris Mainfield, I collaborated with him. Then the band 3 Days in the Grave, Greg Whitestock, Robert Taller, Gene Coupley. So I like collaborated about 4 or 5 songs with them, and then I collaborated with Broniger McDaniel. I did an entire album with her. Then there was no turning back, and I was grateful to God that my dream came true. I never gave up, and right now you can see that I've got a lot of achievements under my belt, and I've won multiple awards internationally. I have performed internationally, and the kid who just started with an acoustic guitar with 5 strings eventually became an international musician. It's a huge thing for me. It's an honor for me, and I'm so glad and happy that all my hard work has finally paid off. Right now I'm really very excited with my new band Encounter, and I have David Pollard, who's from Tennessee. He's a singer-songwriter of the band, the lead vocalist, and I'm so honored that I work with David Pollard in my band Encounter. We have Chad Shipley on drums. He's also from Tennessee, USA. And we have recently released our first album, self-titled album of Encounter, and we have already started working on our second album. So this is a very exciting time for me right now, and things are really happening, and I'm so glad and happy to announce that I'm again nominated for the International Singer-Songwriter Association's Awards 2023, and I'm nominated in 2 of the most important categories: International Male Rising Star and the International Emerging Artist. So these are the 2 awesome categories I'm nominated for, and I'm really looking forward to go and attend the award shows. I'm really thankful to the International Singer-Songwriter Association's Awards, Tammany Dove, for supporting all the independent artists around the world. Thank you so much, Tammany, for whatever you do for us. I'm really thankful to some of the people who have supported me. I'm thankful to Phil Kranz of the Black Dog Show, the radio, the Black Dog Radio. I'm thankful to Michael Tobin, the Lookout guy. He's an amazing person. Thank you so much for his support. I'm thankful to Linda Erico from Los Angeles. She's always been very supportive. And I'm really thankful to my wife and my children who bear with me and who always supports me. I'm thankful to Greg Whitestock, the band 3 Days in the Grave, Robert Taller, Gene Coupley, and Greg. I'm thankful to Hagit Castle. She's been very supportive of me, and there are so many people I would like to thank. And last but not least, I would like to thank the Artist House for giving me the opportunity to make this beautiful video and share my thoughts and feelings. And lastly, I would say, before I sign out, I would say that no matter what obstacles comes your way, you have to be very strong. You have to have faith in yourself. Never be afraid of taking chances. Those who take chances, they make it. And if you live safe, and if you live like you're afraid of taking chances, it's not gonna happen. So you have to be bold, you have to take chances in life, and you have to really believe in self. Life is not easy, there are a lot of obstacles, but if you're strong enough to fight, you can fight anything. This is Imran Ahmed signing out.